Game week 32 has just finished. It's time to start thinking about game week 33. This is the FPL checklist. In this video, I've got transfers, when to make transfers, game week 33 fixtures, and also early look at captaincy. All the important stuff we need to start thinking about before that deadline hits us. If this sounds like something you'll enjoy, drop a like and subscribe. Now you've done that, let's get into it. First on our checklist, do not do early transfers. We have an important set of midweek fixtures. This means the teams that we own players from, they're going to play their strongest team. I mean, Arsenal play Bayern Munich, Real Madrid play Man City, West Ham play Leverkusen, Liverpool play Atalanta. We own players from these teams. What if Saka gets injured? And by injured, I don't mean he's normal 78th minute limp off. No, a real injury. That will change your plans. What if Haaland gets injured? What if Salah? What if one of these huge premiums? It's a game changer to our transfer plans and our thinking. So definitely wait, okay? Also, apart from injuries, we might get information from those games. So Areola, for example, loads of us still own him. What if David Moyes gives us a good positive update regarding him midweek? So as I said, if you can wait, please do it. Next on the checklist, let's have a look at the game week 33 fixtures. And the things I'm looking for is the big hitting games, the games where we might have captaincy or huge potential for points. I can see Manchester City versus Luton. What a fixture. The only potential downside is in between the Real Madrid game. Now, depending on how Manchester City do versus Real Madrid could impact this. If Real Madrid go in, say 2-0 up, he might rotate quite a lot in this game. But having said that, how much can he rotate? They still need to win every game in the Premier League as it's so tight with Arsenal, Liverpool and Manchester City. So very, very important. But players like Haaland, Foden, KDB, all going to be highly juiced and ready for us in this fixture. The next fixture I look at, again, getting excited, is Liverpool versus Palace. Liverpool were frustrated against United with that 2-2 draw. They're going to want to bounce back. Surely they cannot afford to drop no more points. That was their last chance. Palace conceding goals. You saw it against City, and Liverpool will put them to the test from the first minute. Salah, Diaz, who's playing really well, and Nunez, potentially Trent's back, Jota's back. So the Atalanta game will be important for us. Hence why I said don't make no moves until we see the midweek fixtures. After that, I'm looking at Newcastle versus Spurs. Why am I looking at this? Both teams can't defend, which means if you've got any attackers, Gordon, Son, we could be in for points here. It's another game I'm really interested in. I scroll down, I can see Arsenal versus Aston Villa. An intriguing fixture. Loads of us have at least 3 or 4 players from, if you can combine the teams, Watkins, Gabriel, Saliba, Odegaard, Saka. Very highly owned players here. How's this game going to go down? Arsenal don't look like they're going to concede a goal. They look indestructible. Villa though, Watkins is back after missing 1 game and straight back on the score sheet. So there's an interesting game here for us FPL wise. And last but not least, the fixture that stands out for me is Chelsea versus Everton. Everton been very poor. I know they've recently got a 1-0 win against Burnley. They're relegation candidates. But Chelsea, again, messing up a lead against Sheffield United. Having said all of that, the reason I mentioned this game is that gem they've got, and that's Cole Palmer. Very, very important. Captain by many game week 32. He could potentially be another captain in game week 33. Next on our checklist, there's transfers. And this game week's pretty unique because depending on your chip strategy or how your team is set up, you should think about transfers differently. And I'll give you a bit more details now. If you're only attacking game week 33, this is the players I really, really like. They're both from the best fixtures this game week. So it's Liverpool versus Crystal Palace at home, Manchester City versus Luton at home. Huge potential for us. I really like the attackers. From Manchester City, the obvious one is Haaland. Lots of us still own him. He got a return this week. He missed a big chance as well, so he could have easily had 2 or 3 goals. Looks like he's slowly starting to get back into the groove of things. KDB showed us what he's capable of when he starts a game. Spectacular goal versus Palace and a huge haul. Foden was rested this week, which hopefully means he'll be ready for this fixture here. A hat-trick from the game week before and having a season of his life. So 3 players I really like from Manchester City. From Liverpool, you've got a bit more options, so I'm going to forget Salah. I think quite a lot of us already have him. If you don't and you want to double up on that attack, you've got Nunez, you've got Diaz, who's playing really, really well. Jota could be back, so that's an interesting one. We'll see the updates or whether he's in the squad for Atalanta midweek. In defence, you've got the stability of Virgil van Dijk if you want to guarantee with minutes. But Trent could be back, which really could be something interesting. But of course, midweek fixture might give us an indication. So if you're attacking game week 33, the player surely has to come from these 2 fixtures. Now, if you're looking further ahead and you want to attack the game week 34, they need to look at these players. Now, I'm going to start with Liverpool. The reason is they've got a good fixture 33 and they double in 34. So they tick both boxes. So for me, they're pretty important. If you're not already doubled or tripled up, definitely get stuck in. I really like the players I've just explained a minute ago to you. Manchester City don't fall into this category. You only target them if you're going to say maybe free hitting 34, so you can get your doublers regardless, you don't need to worry, or you're already stacked and ready for 34, you've got a luxury transfer and you can attack game week 33. Then you go for Manchester City. Arsenal, like Liverpool, they've got a more difficult fixture. They've got Villa, so you might not want to jump in this game week. You might wait for 34, but you want to double or triple up on them. One of the best teams in the Premier League, and they've got a good double in 34. So important. You could get Havertz, who's been playing excellent recently. Odegaard has been outstanding. You can jump on their defense, the consistency of Saka. There's just so many options there. So a triple up for me there is a must. After that, I start looking at two other teams I really like their doubles, and that is Crystal Palace. I think they've got 2 home games in their doubles in 34. You've got attacking options for me. So Mateta's been scoring, very cheap. After that, you've got Eze, who's been playing hit and miss recently, but he's capable of a return. Then you've got Ulisse, who's just coming back to fitness. So it's up to you, but I might take 1 from Crystal Palace. Wolves, I might take 2. Now, Aït-Nouri's been a revelation recently. Not with clean sheets, but he's got an assist, he's got a goal. He's playing really well, very attacking in this system. I might also get Cunha, who plays up top for them, because I might want another doubler up top. It depends on his fitness, or he doesn't get suspended or nothing in 33. That's a transfer I might leave for the actual double game week 34. But they're the teams you need to look at if you're targeting double game week 34. Now, the last scenario is you're going to free hit in 34, you're already set for 33, and you want to get your team ready for the double game week in 35. Remember, we have another double game week. Chelsea double and Tottenham double. Now, it's a bit more tricky here. It's a bit slim pickings at Chelsea. Cole Palmer's been a revelation. Most of us own him, but if you don't, 100% you're going to own him for this game week. After that, you could go Jackson or Maduaku if you want another attacker. Defensively, quite a lot have gone Gusto. I mean, you're not going to get a clean sheet. Very unlikely the way Chelsea are defending, but you could get an attack in return. Spurs, on the other hand, Son, I think is going to be in loads of people's teams for this double game week. He's just such an important player, and he's playing up front as well. After that, there's loads of options in midfield. Very tricky to pick the right one. Brennan Johnson's put his hand up recently and playing really well. Werner's returning. Maddison hasn't been the same since injury. Kulevski hasn't even been in the team in the last couple of games. So it's a tricky one who to go for in midfield. One of the defenders, whether it's Poro or Udegi, I think will be in people's teams as well. So that's another option. If you're looking to target game week 35, you need to consider these 2 teams. Depending how your team is set up and your chip strategy, this is how I'll be looking. If you're attacking game week 33, look at those 2 fixtures. If you're attacking double game week 34, have a look at some of the players I've suggested. If you're thinking about 35 already, then Spurs and Chelsea, start planning, start bringing those players in. Last on our checklist now is captaincy. Now, captaincies recently have been good, exciting, they're not so obvious. I remember at one stage last season, it was Haaland every game week. We don't want that. When it's mixed, it gives us potential to make gains. Now, an early look, we can see obviously Manchester City playing Luton, one of their attackers. Haaland looks like he's slowly getting back into form. Foden coming from that hat-trick. I know he was rested. KDB, we think he's going to start. All of these 3 are potential candidates. Liverpool again. Salah, minutes-wise, he's the most safest. But if we know Diaz is starting, or Nunes is starting, or even Jota, we could take the gamble there against Palace. Potential for goals there. After that, I'm looking at Cole Palmer. Chelsea are struggling. He isn't. He's frightening form at the moment, returning practically every game week. The consistency is there. So these are the 4 on an early look at fixtures I really like. Of course, I'm going to have another captaincy video later on in the week after the midweek fixtures, because that could help us as well with form, injuries, and extra information regarding rotation. But early look at captaincy, these are the 4 I like. I hope you enjoyed the video, but more importantly, I hope you found the video useful. Get in the comments and let me know what your plan is this game week. I'm always intrigued to see what other managers are planning. I'll reply to all my comments. Before you jump off to your next video, do me a favor, drop a like and subscribe and share the video. On that note, I'm going to wish you good luck and see you on my next video.